Notre Dame.
We're live.
Oh,
Hey y'all.
ooh, they got a
They're
little
clowning
behind the
because
scenes.
I said I'm gonna be hunched over again today, looking like a fucking asshole because I forgot to get my my mouse thing together. Hey, MD Tab says, good evening, Queens. Let's get into it. It's ladies' night on Insecure, and that damn Lawrence had to pop up at the very end. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Hey, Trey Lovely Blogs. It is not going to be a dump on Lawrence, at least not from my perspective. So any Lawrence high people chair, y'all ain't got to get your blood pressure up just yet, chair. Just wait. Let us get through the whole episode before you start getting all offended and shit. Okay. Anyways, okay. As good IMD Terp stated, this was ladies' night. Overall thoughts. Let me just start off. Overall thoughts. I'm gonna start with you, Ashley.
I love this episode. It gave me
Yeah.
everything. I really felt like it was first season. I got some of those types of vibes from it, but I really enjoyed this episode. Like I was glued to the TV, ready. I thought it was just cute. It was good.
Okay, that's a glowing review. Season. Your thoughts overall, and in the comments, y'all chime in.
I mean, I thought it was cute. I think that they stuffed a lot into one episode and
Really,
kept the party rolling. It was cool. It
I
made me want to hang
actually
out with my friends.
I know, right? I have to say, I was thinking it was going to be a complete like filler throwaway episode, but to your point, season they did say some stuff and have some things happen that did move the plot forward. I'm
Mhm.
going to start off with Lawrence and Condola, because I feel like
What was your
we probably.
overall view?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good episode. I thought it was a good episode, and I think it kind of, gave us our. I feel like that was probably like the last hurrah in terms of the ladies. Like, I don't think that we're going to have an episode where we're going in depth with their friendship anymore. I think that was kind of it. I mean, I think we'll probably see them together again, but not to that extent. Hey, MD Terp says it was a really good episode. The whole thing was a move. Mm-hmm. Trey Lovely Blog says, I totally agree. I love the girl bonding vibes. It was so funny and touching. Hey, Karina. Okay. Let's start off with, okay, I said I was going to start for Condola and Lawrence, but let me go a different way. I thought it was so funny how Kelly wasted zero time smoking that blunt. That was funny. I was like, she ain't coming in and get a glass of water. She ain't have no charcuterie board, or as some people say, a coochie board. She just went right to the blunt. So I'm going to let our Puff Give person speak on that, Ashley.
I'm a Cali girl, true to heart. Okay, y'all. So yes, I was here for all of what Kelly had going on. I just really felt like it was a. I know they be talking about me when I say this, but it was a vibe, y'all. It really was a vibe. They had a whole different mood set. It was just all so positive, so loving. Like Kelly getting on that weed, like it set the tone for the day, for the for their time together. So I'm all for it. Yes. If y'all not smoking, like, okay, then pass it there. What you sitting there for?
Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. I'm not gonna get into the singing, okay? I'm not gonna do that. Trey S. Murphy says, yes, that was the last girls' night kicking. Trey Lovely says, Kelly's so funny. She makes herself at home everywhere. Good episode, laughed a lot. I agree, it was a vibe. I still feel like I never am completely satisfied with what I get from Kelly's character. Because like I mean her big revelation that they talked about was she discovered walking and she cut drinking and she's tired of making white man rich. Like I just still always want more for her. Like they had that episode where it ended with her starting her podcast and like that was pretty much it. So season, do you think we got a little bit more for Kelly or was it kind of like par for the course in terms of her character?
It was typical Kelly. I mean, yeah, she didn't really have any like scenes like, oh, this is a Kelly scene or whatever. It was just typical Kelly. I mean, I think the who actually surprised me was Tiffany's character.
Mm-hmm.
She brought it this episode, and
Okay, like what?
Not
Give me an
tears though.
example.
She didn't bring
Huh?
tears.
She okay compared to Issa Rae. She gets a fucking
No.
Oscar this damn episode. Like, Issa Rae whack, okay? But no, Tiffany, the whole moving thing, and I thought that was it felt genuine, and Kelly was like, "Why you ain't tell me?" So that was my favorite, one of my favorite scenes from the girls' night was them talking to each other and reassuring her, and her talking about being scared of postpartum depression again and having
Mm-hmm.
more kids, but they'll be closer to his family. So I just could imagine how overwhelming all of that would be. And I made a move because my husband got a promotion, ended up being one of the best moves we've ever made. So that was my favorite scene. But yeah, they don't ever do what they could with Kelly.
Yeah, yeah. Karina says, Ashley, you took the words out of my mouth, out of my head. No tears. Trey Lovely blogs. That's how they been treating Kelly throughout the show. They have weak character development on her. Okay, I have what is probably going to be a controversial take on Tiffany moving to Denver and Kelly. My first reaction to that in terms of Kelly and like, why didn't you tell me, is this is a prime example of why going all in on your girlfriends as a substitute for a relationship or companionship is not a good idea. This is this uncontroversial thing because I'm all for girlfriend power and girl power and all that kind of stuff. However, let me go back to my experience. For instance, when I just graduated from college and I had my girlfriends, like, roommates and all that kind of stuff, and they all pledged a sorority. And I was basically asked out, like my crew, my running pals, like were occupied. And I was like, I'm kind of stuck. So from that point forward, I was like, okay, well, let me hang out with my sister more. That's how I met you, Ashley. And I'm not saying as a consolation, but I'm just saying it made me
Oh, that's why you
realize.
started kicking it with us now.
Well, no, it made me realize
It
like
was because we was fun.
I realized, and I've had several instances, like even when I moved out here, I was like, oh, I already have I have my people, I'm cool with da 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 da. But there have been several times in my life where I realized like it's a bad idea to put all your eggs in one basket, and you should always expand. And it's not just a matter of getting a companion; it's also a matter of having multiple friend groups and things like that. But I feel like sometimes we can get comfortable, like, well, I have my people, I'm good, I don't know new friends, et cetera, et cetera. But sometimes stuff happens with those friends that are, you're kind of asked out. So I think with Kelly, like, Tiffany is her girl. Like that's her ride or die. She's less close with Issa and with Molly, and now with Kelly. I mean, with Tiffany leaving, that kind of puts her in like an especially vulnerable position. That's my take on it. Am I alone with this one, or what you guys thinking in the comments? Ashley, you give me the look like, girl, no, that's not my takeaway. What do you think?
I didn't see none of that when I watched that scene because I mean
Okay.
Kelly said that she had a dude she had just fucked, right? So I don't think Kelly. I think Kelly got. I didn't see it as her putting her eggs in the basket. I saw it as like, damn girl, my friend is leaving. So I would
Yeah.
cry. I would
Yeah.
have cried. I mean, Tiffany ain't had no emotions.
No, I'm
No,
not saying. I'm not saying that Kelly is thinking that. I'm just saying that's my reaction to the fact that sometimes women, we can get comfortable
oh yeah,
with our
absolutely.
girlfriends, with our set of girlfriends, of like, I'm good, I don't need anything, but something can disrupt that. Like somebody can
Yeah.
have a job change or somebody might move or whatever, and then you're like, fuck, I got to figure this out. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm a social butterfly. I like making friends everywhere. I make friends
Yeah.
at the grocery store. Like, I am just, I mean, I'm cute. I'm nice. I got a personality. It's easy to make friends for me. But there
Right.
are those that choose, they don't need no new friends. And that's fine. I think I think it becomes an issue when you have a certain level of expectations for your friends. And then they
Mm-hmm.
disappoint you. And now it's like, everybody. So I think when it comes to that, it's about maintaining expectations and knowing everybody's life is going to change at some point. Like you and your friend's relationship is going to evolve. Your friend
Yeah.
by themselves is going to evolve. So I think keeping that realization, but yeah, I can say that. Yeah, don't only rely on your three friends you got, because they can't be everything for you.
And and I'm not saying that this, I don't know how many people this falls under, but sometimes people don't pursue relationships as much, or they're kind of quicker to
Yeah.
throw to kind of like dismiss people because they're like, I'm good, I'm all set, da 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 da. I will say before I go to you, season. On the other hand, it also applies to people in relationships, because I remember when my husband is my plus one, my like ride or die. Like, we go everywhere together. We've always been everywhere together. But he had gotten a job where he traveled for 2 weeks out of the month, like a full week. It wasn't like, oh, he's gone a couple days a week and then he's home for the weekends. It was like gone. And I was like, holy shit, like this is my plus one. This is my partner. So I had to like then branch out more and hang out with my girlfriends and like make more connections and develop my social life here outside of just my husband and that group of people. So it can go both ways. I'm not just saying it as a knock on single women, like, oh, single women, be careful. This is a cautionary tale. I'm saying just in terms of anybody, things can change. Things can change with your partner, things can change with your friendships, and you can't get too comfortable and put your eggs in one basket. That's where I'm going with. Okay, Season, your reaction. Oh, wait, before you do that, Trey Lovely says, I agree with you. Okay, so I have one. I agree with you. Sometimes trying to just stick to that one friend group can leave you on the outside looking in, because other folks will move on without thinking twice about your tail. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hold on, can I say something real quick?
Oh my God. Block this person.
First of all, chunky these nuts, okay? I bet I can have you paying my motherfucking bills. So chill over there, okay? Before I fuck your daddy, you better chill. With this chunky pussy in his mouth, don't come for me, bro. Don't do it. You're not ready for this.
That's one thing I cannot fucking stand about YouTube. Like, YouTube is full of fucking loser ass degenerates who have nothing better to do.
I bet you bald, you short, you got a small ass dick. Like, I guarantee you don't even have a real check coming in that house that don't come from the government. Chill, bro.
Okay, anybody who's confused, this fucking asshole degenerate piece of shit in YouTube comments came for Ashley's looks. First of all, we're putting ourselves out there. We're putting ourselves out there with our looks. We're putting ourselves out there with our faces. We're not some fucking random degenerate on the internet talking shit about how people look. Bitch, do you have a comment on the motherfucking show? If not, see your way out. As a matter of fact, it looked like somebody blocked the person. So fuck off. But like, I just really cannot stand how people try to come for you, like on the internet, that wouldn't say boo to you in your face. Like, why don't you come in here and we can see what you look like, and we can break it down on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck does what Ashley look like?
First of all,
Ashley look good.
Ashley look good. That's all you got to do.
But anyway, moving along. Sorry about that. If y'all and anybody in the comments, if you want to come for anybody, come for me, okay? Don't come for my panelists, because I will definitely read your ass. Okay, they're being nice by coming on here with me to talk to y'all. Don't be a fucking degenerate and come for somebody's looks.
That word, degenerate.
That's Reese's favorite word.
It is my word, because people are fucking degenerates and don't have anything better to do with themselves. Anyways, moving along. People you want the attention and you got it. But do me a favor, actually, if you're still here, send me an email with your picture at contact@blackwomanviews, and then we can put it up here next week and we can show everybody what you look like, and we can have a whole session on how great you look, and we can evaluate if your looks match up with what we think a degenerate on a fucking YouTube channel talking shit about a person will look like.
Let's see if you're insecure.
Let's see how you feel about it. Don't catfish. Bring us your.
They're gonna send a picture of Kofi.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, do that. And no dick pics either, perv. Okay, anyways, moving on. Season, your reaction to we're not giving Degenerate any more airtime. Your reaction to the conversation that we're having.
Well, I mean, y'all know I'm team no new friends. I'm over it. I've moved. This is my third major move as an adult. I've made the friends I'm finna make. I attract weirdos. I'm over
No,
it.
you don't.
Bitch, I'm tired. I'm tired of making new friends. If it happens organically, that's great, but I'm not seeking out new friends at this point. Like I've met some really cool people at work that I would hang
Mhm.
out with. Um, I've met a lot of nice people since moving here, but just like trying to find me a new bestie, and no, I'd rather pour into my kids and meet up with my girls that I know are gonna give me a good time and that support. I'm good, and because I have moved several times. I've been married a couple of times. I know how to
You
be
were
there
married.
for.
This is your second
This
marriage.
is my second marriage, but I know how to be there for a bitch who is going through some shit in her life. So I don't really relate or see the whole don't put all your uh what is it into one bag. Don't put all
Eggs
your
into
eggs
one basket. Yeah.
because I don't I've never felt like that in
Never
any
felt
of my.
that
Yeah,
emotion.
I haven't felt
Yeah.
that in any of
Yeah.
my friend groups. But
But
I
you
hear
yeah.
you.
also have a healthy you have a healthy expectation for your friends, and you have a grasp on reality with your friends. You get what I'm
I
saying?
do.
So it's not like
Also,
you
I'm
know.
much more of a social butterfly than you, Season.
I'm
So,
social.
I
Girl, we hung out.
I know we
I was
did.
the
We
first
did. Season and
one.
I, okay, Season and I were real jocks. I will say in Chicago, we were all set. Like, we did not, we never had a shortage of like, okay, we going out, we want this and the other. But I'm just saying,
I
you
kick
know,
it. Y'all know I
yeah.
kick it
Yes, you do. Yes,
hard.
you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Okay, I stand corrected. I stand
I
corrected. Okay, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. So I kind of like that they actually canceled all their plans because that's how it is with your girlfriends, right? Like you kind of plan this whole schedule, and
Mhm.
then sometimes you just end up like going with it, going with the flow. I will say though, I wanted to see a little bit more on the Molly and Torian kind of thing. Like they really teased it, but
Mhm.
I don't normally skip ahead to the previews, but I saw nothing in the previews about Molly and Torian. So is this something that they're just going to drop? Like, I really was wanting a little bit more, but I like the idea that they're talking more. She's kind of like at a minimum, she's not uptight about work anymore.
Mhm.
So Ashley, where do you see this going, and what's your reaction to Torian and then Dro like randomly calling her too? Not random. It's probably what related to her mom. So, what's your reaction to the Molly and Torian part?
I think for this particular episode, it was a good, healthy amount because I feel like this episode was really focused on the girls, and them
Mm-hmm.
catching up on everything, them really like showing their support for each other. So I think it was a really healthy amount that they had of Torian pop in, and she got that little cute and with your friends. You got a new dude you want to brag to your friends about. So I think they're going to have an episode that's going to be about relationships. That's going to give us a lot of Molly and Torian. I hope they get together. I think they are perfect for each other.
I like the idea of
I
Molly and
do.
Torian, but I just don't see like I just feel like they didn't show it. What they chose to emphasize in the previews was like her interacting with her mom, which is of course a
Yeah.
big part. But where's Torian? Karina says I agree, Reese, about Molly and Torian season. And one thing I just would like to see, like I wasn't clear if she actually sent the text message to Torian or not, or Issa did. So I would have liked to have at least seen like a yeah, sure, at least something to leave us with like, okay, this is where it's going. Season though, what's your take on it?
I think she did send the text,
Okay.
but I think they made it pretty clear that at least he's reaching out to her more on a
Mm-hmm.
personal level, and she's open to it, which to me would be the biggest obstacle because Molly, can be,
Yeah,
kind of like
a little. Yeah,
uptight.
Mm-hmm.
So I
resistant.
Yeah, so I think they set the groundwork for, to make it happen. I mean, if he's already hitting her up and they kind of got that googly weird vibe,
Mm-hmm.
then I
Mm-hmm.
think it's gonna happen. I don't have an issue with what I think we found out enough this episode on it.
I will say Kelly came in with the I love the friend, and I don't know if I'm always that friend or not. I'm not sure. Season, you can tell me. when she said y'all fucking, like she just went right. She's like, oh, I found the question for that, and she answered it. Like I just love, like I love to get the actual details. Like, okay, what's the tea? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Like spill it out. I know, like we have friends, season. I'm not gonna name names where we kind of have to beat out the details from a
I have
person.
several friends,
You heard several friends like that.
and I
Okay,
have to
so
beat the fucking details out of, and they still don't give me nothing. I'd be like, okay, bitch, well, maybe I'll just walk in on y'all fucking because I don't know what's going on.
okay.
Yeah,
I am gonna stay quiet.
you are the friend that's always trying to get to the bottom of stuff. Me, I'm the friend
Me
as
or
yes,
Ashley? Me.
Reese.
Okay, yeah.
Reese, you try to get to the bottom of things. Ashley will just come out and ask, "Are y'all fucking?" Me,
Yeah. So did he stick his dick in you? Like, girl, don't make me ask you in such a when I say did it go down? You know what I'm asking.
yeah, me. I'm that friend that I just take what I get because I ain't got time for it. You bitches don't want to don't want to spill the tea.
Well, I think it depends, and you guys in the comments and can chime in. Um, there are some people where they just need a little bit of prodding, and there's some people that are like closed off, like I'm not gonna get nothing out of them, so why even bother? Like if
Prudes.
huh?
Prudes.
Yeah, boo, whatever. Okay.
Ashley, you got a fan, look. You got a
Okay, so
fan.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to assume that there's a new person and not the old person coming back to reinvent themselves. But it says, y'all are some beautiful women, especially Miss Right Corner on the screen. Go,
Oh, am I right
Ashley.
corner? Oh, you know, fan.
Right? You're
Thank
right
you.
corner, right?
Thank you. I have t-shirts ready for sale at the end of this.
Thank you, C. Merritt. Trev Lovely says Kelly cuts right to the source. She's like, tell me the details. I'm a details kind of person. Like, if you're telling me to start, I'm like, okay, what happened? Well, what did you say? What was the person saying? What was blah, blah, blah? I'm like that kind of person. So yeah. Anyways, okay. So I love that. I love that for her. Now let's talk about. I don't know if I'm going to go right to Issa because I feel like we should talk about Lawrence a little bit more and Condola before we get
Yeah.
to Issa. So let's talk about Lawrence and Condola. I will say, I think that Lawrence turned over a new leaf. And the move back home was good. I'm not one to hand out cookies because you're doing what you're supposed to do. However, I think that Lawrence has been redeemed in this episode. Any reactions to that? Season is nodding. Ashley is giving the screw face. So, Ashley, your reaction first.
I definitely think Lawrence has redeemed himself. This is what I wanted him to be, right?
Yes.
You didn't hit on her, you didn't flirt with her. It was a very peaceful moment. You guys, you shit in the laundry. Those little things make a difference. That baby is going to be with her all night. You're not going to be there while the baby, you get what I'm saying? So those little moments and that small help, whether it's small or big, you did something. So this is the Lawrence I've been wanting to see. I don't know if I want them to like work it out. I mean, I guess I could say
by them you mean Lawrence and Issa or Lawrence and Condola?
Lawrence and Issa, you already know he got a baby. We don't fuck with that. So that's not even on the radar.
Okay.
Lawrence and Condola. It's Condola, right?
Yeah. Condola. Okay. Oh, is it Condola? I think it's Condola.
Condola. Okay. Yes, Condola. I part of me wants to see them back together because they have a child. That would be nice. It would be beautiful. But at the same time, if you guys are not going to get back together, I do like that they're showing a healthy co-parenting relationship because you already know these niggas on these streets, they don't care. So the fact that they're really showing it for him really being there for his child and having this joy about his child, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
And Karina says, I thought Lawrence was going to try and get it in with Condola. Glad it didn't happen. I'm really happy that they at least didn't go right there until like, oh, we're feeling vulnerable or we're getting along. So now let's go jump back into a relationship. I thought that they really did an excellent job of kind of like having that mature, let's clear the air conversation because the tension was very thick. And I mean, it still was thick afterwards, but I feel like they both got what they needed out of that conversation to move forward in a healthier way, especially for their son. Seasoned, what was your reaction?
Oh, that little boy was so cute. He
He's
was
so cute. He's so
so
adorable.
Oh,
cute.
y'all know little boys, baby boys do it for me. But um, I was very. They make me want to have more kids. Little babies give me baby fever, bitch. What you thinking? Oh,
What's
Are
going
you?
on?
it made
I'm
this look
sorry.
on her face like what?
I'm sorry. You just caught me off guard, man. That's all. That's all.
Baby
Okay.
boys give me baby fever. Anyways, I was very pleased with that with his part of the episode, and
Yeah.
I would like to see them back together. I don't have no beef with Condola. I don't get what the big deal is. Why people hate her? Why there is issues. People don't think that's Lawrence's baby, and it clearly he are into her. He back to being Johnny on the spot. Y'all remember that episode where he was over there fixing her sinking shit, and her homegirl wrote up on him like, "Oh, you just a rebound or whatever."
Oh
He,
yeah, that is right. Mm-hmm.
so he
Yes.
back to being Mr. Fix It. He like he's getting these compliments, and
Yeah, let's close
so. But to me, I felt like Condola was or Condola. I'm gonna call her Condola because Condola just sound that's an ugly little name. But Condola, I think she was vindicated this episode
Oh
because
yeah,
it
absolutely.
really showed how much he was not there, how he was not
Mm-hmm.
present. And as
Mm-hmm.
much as she wanted to trust him, her distrust went back to when she was pregnant. And that came
Mm-hmm.
up this episode. Like, man, I've
Yeah.
been struggling with this whole situation since I was fucking pregnant.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
so I like the vindication on her behalf. Like, it is
Mm-hmm.
not easy being a fucking mom, a first time mom. It's not, none of that is easy. And when you have, when you've been doing it, when you've been dealing with it by yourself since pregnancy, I mean, I couldn't imagine, but I really liked it. And I wouldn't mind seeing them back together. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that would be, as long as he stay away from Issa. I mean, I will fucking punch that girl. I wanted to punch her in the face at the end of this episode. I was so mad. So,
Well, we're gonna get to that part, but hold on a second. So S. Murphy says, yes, Lauren stepped up. We don't see a lot of healthy co-parenting on TV. Trey Lovely says, I agree with you. They rarely show a healthy co-parenting relationship with a black couple. See, I had different takeaways in terms of like maybe what I would like to see from Condola and Lawrence. Number one, I thought it was really good how Condola said, like, oh, you're a good dad. And he was like, that means a lot to me. I think it was really, there are two things that were incredibly important. When Lawrence said that his son was the best thing that has ever happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, and Condola says, like, oh, I'm really happy to hear that because I can just, I'm psychoanalyzing a fucking fictional character. I get it, right? But I'm assuming my read on it is that like she had a lot of guilt, and think about like the feedback with the Lawrence episode. It was like, she trapped that nigga. What she expect?
Yeah.
You should have had baby. Da, 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 blah blah blah.
yeah.
That's what you get, and it was a lot of that energy. And so I'm thinking like, when you're in a situation, you accidentally get knocked up by a guy you're not seriously seeing. And, he's not a bad guy. It's not like he's a deadbeat, but at the same time, there's a little bit of guilt there. Like, of course, you're going to have your baby, but you don't want to make a person feel trapped or like,
Mm-hmm.
obligated, even though they should be obligated. But so I think that there was like a tug of war there between like, I'm in this shit by myself, but I don't want to burden this person because it was my choice. It wasn't his choice.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference when a person is like, what is you going to do? And I got other shit going on, as opposed to like, well, we had this fucking baby, got this baby together. So we're going to go through this whole process together. So I think it was really a relief for her to see that him express like, this is, this is good for me. This is the best thing that happened to me, even though it wasn't my plan. It was your plan. It's still the best thing that happened to me. So that was one. And then the other part was what Lauren says, I don't blame you for anything. And I think that's really important because, he's taking accountability for his
Mm-hmm.
role in it. And in some ways it's good because he also gets to claim credit for the best thing that ever happened to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he wants his kid to grow up thinking like, I didn't really want your ass, but you're here. I think it's kind of like, there's no blame here. It's a blessing. And so I thought that, the whole, I want you to be happy and I want you to be happy conversation. My read on that was like, go do you, be happy. There's no obligation here. I know we have a baby, but don't feel like, well, now we got to try to make it work because we got a baby together. I felt like it was more like, go, I want you to be happy. And maybe that happiness brings them back together. I doubt it. I don't see that. I just don't see that romantic spark there. But at a minimum, I think that it is a healthier way of co-parenting. And the last thing I'll say, because I've been going on for a second, is that it's a prime example of, I think, why Issa, as hard as it was to let Lawrence go, it was really smart of her to give Lawrence that space. Now he didn't capitalize on that space to do the right thing from day pregnancy one, right? But I think that I think that she made the right decision because they had to figure out how to co-parent without her being in the picture, and that's just adds another layer of complication. So that's my whole spiel on it. Let me go to some of the comments. I'm not even going to. I started to read that out, and I was like, okay, no, we're not doing that. Anyways, I don't know who that person is. Okay. Anyways, Trey Lovely says those emotionally vulnerable moments that they shared with each other were so surprising to me, very open and real. Let's see. Karina says, I don't know if Condola and Lawrence would last even if Issa wasn't in the picture because of his insecurities. What do you mean insecurities though, Karina? Yeah. I'm curious what you mean by that. Okay, so now that we've cleared it here, Lawrence has been redeemed. Lawrence and Condola are in a good space of co-parenting. They've given each other permission to go be happy, whatever that means. So now let's talk about Issa. So Issa, per usual, is all over the place. She's in a bad space or in a rocky space with Nathan. I was actually surprised, though, to see the split in her friend group in terms of Nathan versus Issa. Maybe I shouldn't be that surprised, but I was a little surprised. Ashley, since you're a fan in the comments, says you should get more screen time.
He should be my agent, okay? Because he getting me screen time already. He should be my agent. Now, one thing about that whole her talking about Nathan and everything, I think I love the most was Molly's reaction to her calling Lawrence.
Okay.
I really like the fact that Molly called her out. Like, look, Nathan said you were inconsistent with your feelings. This is an example right here, a current example of you being inconsistent. So I think that was a good moment. As far as her and Nathan, I just really hope she don't fuck it up by going back and chasing after Lawrence and getting back into those feelings and I understand the whole show is insecure, right? So of course, with her decision to leave Lawrence and to give him that space and to go on with her life, I know that there's an insecurity behind that decision, but it's like, girl, why are you going back? You got a whole dude that really is a good dude. And then their conversation was so cute. I'm glad he got.
You thought it was cute? You thought the conversation that they had was cute? Oh.
I did, because no.
I'm listening and then I respond.
I did think it was. I think it was cute. I mean, no, are my standards low?
No. We're listening. Go ahead. Go. Karina says, I love the scene. Nathan? Karina said, I love the scene with Issa and Nathan. So you're not alone, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, Karina. See, girl, thank you. They making me feel like I'm crazy over here. Okay. The scene with Issa and Nathan on the phone, him calling her and not beating around the bush, like just coming out and saying it like, yes, I love you. I'm just in my head. I'm going to do what I need to do to get over it. He's not putting that responsibility on her. He's taking accountability and he's owning up to his feelings, verbalizing it. So I thought that was a really good, healthy scene for them. And the fact that, I wish she would have been more, I wish she would have acted better in the scene, if I can say that season. Because I think her reaction... Tiffany didn't have no tears. Tiffany should have had some tears in that scene. Kelly understood the assignment for sure, but Tiffany didn't. But when it came to the conversation with her and Nathan, I felt like she just was so like monotone. Like, okay,
Mm,
okay,
mm.
okay.
Yeah,
So,
Issa. Yeah, Issa did not give us much in that scene.
at
Yeah, I
all.
agree.
But I did like the dialogue with it. So I'm here for
Okay,
it.
the
I'm here for
dialogue
her
was
and
good.
Nathan. Hmm.
Season. Okay, before I go to you, season, let me get through some of these comments because there's a lot of reaction to them. Um,
Oh my God, 58. Oh,
58. What?
oh, because I closed the chat.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, let's see. Let's see. Trey says, "Thank God for Jesus and Molly in that moment. Issa had my nerves with calling Lawrence. Like, girl, get your mess together. Stop running behind Lawrence." She said she was in love with Nathan. Now she calling this fool. S. Murphy says, "Yes, Molly, calling her out and telling her to sleep on. She better not go back to Lawrence, but I got a feeling she does." Mm-hmm. MD Terp says, "I love that scene too." So he's with you on that, Ash. And then Karina says, "Nathan took accountability and oh, I got this fucking pop up. And is willing to work it out, which is refreshing because sometimes folks will totally scar someone over BS. That is true. Okay, season, your take on it.
Well, for starters, I'm not surprised that she was getting split. Like Tiffany was low key team Lawrence,
Yeah.
and everybody else was like, girl, fuck him. You know, you need to figure out what your inconsistent ass finna do about Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm not surprised. We all got that one friend who just kind of, just will root for the weirdo, the underdog, the, follow your heart or just whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, I just thought it was stupid. Like, bitch, you got into one little disagreement and now you telling your girls y'all completely up in the air. Like, Issa gets on my fucking nerves. I'm sorry. She's the worst character on the show. She's annoying. She's immature. This whole awkward shit, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I'm over it.
Mm.
Like, bitch, you fucking sat up there. You gave Lawrence this dumbass look saying you couldn't do it, and now you want closure. You fucking broke up with him. Why do you want closure with someone you broke up with, you dumbass bitch? And then she calling this nigga because Kelly said, "Oh, you better get ahead of it, dummy."
She was drunk.
Then
She was drunk. She was
I don't care
inebriated.
what she was.
Okay.
She just wanted somebody to tell her to do it because she's fucking stupid, and she doesn't know how to communicate her feelings. She don't know how to give people time to process nothing. Like, girl, it's been a year. This man got a whole baby, and you crying about closure. Like, it's just so dumb to me. Like, I don't. Honestly, I don't care about Issa's storyline. She can end up by her fucking self at this point. I really like Nathan. I think she's gonna. I don't see. I mean, I just think that for TV purposes, they're gonna have something pop up with Lawrence and whatever. But Issa, you're a dumbass and you can't act.
Listen,
Okay, so you're fed up.
I'm
You're
fed up. I'm
fed
totally
up.
fed up. Cause like even in
what was
scenes,
your breaking point?
my breaking point is
Like, when
Because
did it
I
change? Did
mean,
it change?
you go in on Issa, but you don't ever go this hard.
my breaking point was it started when she told her friends like, "Oh, me and Nathan are up in the air."
Mm,
Again, proving she's inconsistent. Then she turned around and fucking called Lawrence. That
Okay.
pissed me off. And then Nathan called and told her like, "I've always loved you," and she's staring, looking fucking dumb like she usually does. And okay, I love you too. Call me after work. And then fucking Lawrence called her and she don't answer. So that means he still has an opportunity to pop up again. Hopefully not while Nathan is anywhere around, anything to do with anything, because that's just gonna fuck shit up. Like, but
Yeah.
the whole she could have had closure. When she went to break up with Lauren, she just looked at him and said, and he said, "I understand." Now she crying about closure. It's just I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I ain't gonna do it. And good luck with this
Me too,
storyline.
Karina. Me too. Season going hard.
Good luck,
Okay,
bitch.
I there's so much to react to, and I'm kind of a little bit in a different mindset than you guys are. But let me come back to some of the comments that I missed. Let's see. Um, Season, I think Trey, you meant she's going for the jugular. Karina says, I agree somewhat. Season is just insecure or 20s. He says in her 30s. That's the one thing that's like, there are other black girl shows, right, where people are in their 30s and they act like they're in their 30s. I don't feel like Insecure, like these women act like they're in their 30s. That's just my position. They still have the maturity level and the communication level of people in their 20s,
But 30's still living in LA though.
Well, I've been out of LA my entire 30s, so I don't know. Maybe 30s
Does that
is
make
a little
difference?
maybe it's a little stunted, but I don't know. I have girlfriends that are in LA and they're not stupid. They know how to communicate.
Okay.
TCG he has a very interesting perspective. He said, or he or she, I don't know which one. TCG says Nathan came to that conclusion when he felt Issa pulling away. He allowed her to feel silly in the moment, throwing hints about saying "I love you" back. I think that's an interesting perspective. I mean, I don't like the fact that it took like this tension and this like really funky air for him to be like, oh yeah, actually I do love you. Like, if there's no payoff for it, and I think, and I don't know if that's what Issa's reaction was supposed to be like. Well, it's like, it's a little anticlimactic now, or if it was like, I don't know, if it was a deficiency in terms of the delivery there, or if the intention was for her to kind of be like, that's cool, like, but like, I'm over it now. I don't know. I don't know how she was supposed to act that scene as opposed to what we got. But I will say that if we have been beefing and I told you I love you and I was trying to fuck it out of you and I was really trying to get you to say it, and then now you wait till we're like in a bad space to be like, oh yeah, actually turns out I do love you, I'd be like, fuck off. There'll probably be a part of me that'd be a little salty. So I'm not entirely mad at that. But Karina says Issa's reaction sucked in that scene. Yeah. Trey says she was looking dazed and confused when Nathan said he loved her. Like, do you know how you really feel about people? Season, I agree with you. This whole mess has my nerves too. TCG says that's a pattern with Nathan. He never shares how he feels in the moment. That is true. Always sometime later, not cool. Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel like he could do more in the moment to kind of react than what he does. He kind of waits till like some shit's blown up a little bit to be like, oh, just kidding, like I actually do like you or whatever. So anyways, the 33 says Harlem on Amazon Prime, very good with Megan Good. We're not going, guys. I mean, I love the show, but we're gonna yes, I agree. No comments, no other comments. Okay. Now I have some different perspectives here. Let me rewind.
Okay, let's see.
Let me push this in my ear real quick.
Push your ear.
I want to not face punch fucking Issa Rae or Issa D.
So here's my perspective on the Molly thing. I think Molly meant well.
Oh, yeah.
But I think Molly plays interference in a way that doesn't, I have this thing called good intentions gone bad. And it's like sometimes you can have good advice and you can have good intentions and it just goes bad because it's not the right, like I think Tiffany said it well, like, sometimes the smart thing isn't the right thing or the right thing isn't the smart thing. It just has to make sense for you. Like sometimes good advice and good intentions don't make sense for a person who doesn't do shit the right way. And Issa is like a prime example of a person who doesn't do shit the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like a right way person is like, hey, I have this great guy. We have a great connection. We have a long-term friendship. Like I've moved on. Like everybody's moved on. Let's see what happens with this. But that's not Issa. So my perspective, just looking over the past couple of seasons is, yes, Issa was drunk. She wasn't incapacitated drunk. I think that not allowing her to make that call just really like prolonging the inevitable. And I get that it was good advice to say, well, just wait until you're sober and then address it there. But I still kind of feel like, you know what, it's just delaying the inevitable. Like get it out of your system, get it over with. Like I feel like sometimes it's better to be a cheerleader for the wrong thing for your girlfriends as opposed to like this is a sensible thing to do because it's like you're not going to be satisfied until you have that fucking conversation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like go ahead, do it, let it blow up in your face.
What?
Ashley,
what happened?
this bitch good. She'll text you, be like, "Man, I'm finna cuss this motherfucker out." I don't even respond. Because I know she gonna do it by the time I respond to her.
You know, at least I go to counsel first, okay? It's on record.
Well,
If she want to say something, she gonna say it. So, Reese, I feel you on that point, but go ahead, finish.
I feel like I've given very good advice that was a fucking disaster because the person that I was giving advice to was not they're just gonna do shit wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, that was stupid. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that because now it's blown up and it's I won't take responsibility because you're a grown person, you can do what you want to do. But it's like, if I had thought all the way through about how fucking much of a train wreck you are, I would have not given you this really good advice. I would have just minded my fucking business. So I've taken it upon myself to just start minding my business, you know. But the whole point is I think that we've seen Molly run interference. Now she ran interference and it fucked up Issa and Nathan. Now she's running interference and we don't know what's the outcome. But sometimes I think you just have to let the person get it out of their system. Okay, so have I changed any minds at all?
I think that is nothing wrong with not letting your friend drunk text or drunk dial an ex.
I didn't say it was wrong, but I'm just saying it's delaying the inevitable.
I think it's very basic advice. So if it does blow up, I couldn't blame it on Molly that she didn't let it happen that night. I think that, because what if she did and talk to Lawrence and then whatever the fuck whatever she's looking for, whatever. Never mind. Just go to Ashley because I can't even imagine what this conversation.
Well, I don't think that Molly was wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Molly was wrong. What I'm saying is that sometimes running interference is not good simply because it's just delaying the inevitable. Sometimes delaying the inevitable makes it worse for everybody involved. Like, for instance, for Nathan. Like, it's going to make it worse for Nathan that Issa has these unresolved things. Like, the whole thing about her being like, you're inconsistent. It's like, yeah, figure your shit out, not ignore it. I don't know. That's just my perspective. Ashley, you get the final say on this.
I think Molly did what she was supposed to. I personally like going on record and telling my friends, like, look, this is a dumbass idea, but girl, if this is what you want, if you like it, I love it, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't ever want to be in a situation where I could have said something, you know, or could have prevented something and I didn't. I probably would have did like Molly, like, look, you drunk as fuck right now. My opinion is that you should wait till you're sober and call him. But girl, you want to call him tonight still, or if you want to wait till the morning, that's your, you know, you got the final say. But I would express my opinion, especially with a nigga like Lawrence. Come on. Like, what I didn't understand is why no one told her that they had already seen Lawrence. You get what I'm saying?
Well, like, that was Kelly said that. She said that she saw Lawrence and things are very tense. You remember at Simone's birthday thing? But I think that it was probably stupid that Tiffany didn't chime in and be like, they're not together. Because obviously Tiffany would know this. She would know that they're not together. Yeah. So that doesn't make any sense to why she didn't say anything, aside from the fact that it's insecure and people suck at communication. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, let's see. Karina says, y'all might come for me, but this season isn't as good as the others, but we still have 3 episodes to change our mind. It doesn't give us send-off season. I think somebody else said that too, actually. Let's see. We ain't gonna come for you, girl. MD Terp says, I agree. Overall, it's been a mess. Send off some good, some bad. Hopefully, they finish strong. Yeah. Trey agrees. It's a lot of agreement. Robert says you can't have an honest conversation when you've been drinking and smoking. Molly said the right thing. I don't know if you can't have an honest one, but it's usually not
be
as
honest.
good of an idea.
Yeah, probably won't be as coherent.
Yeah. Plausible deniability. Like, oh wait, what did you say? So you said, "Fuck off, I don't like you." Yeah, I was drunk. I don't know why we even had a conversation. Anyways, Karina says, if I miss the show when it actually starts at 10 p.m. and catch it later, I don't mind. The excitement to watch is dwindled for me this season. Hey, J. Marie Harris. Let's see. Yeah, Karina says you caught that too with Reese. With Tiffany. Sorry. Maybe the last episodes come with it. I'm very underwhelmed. I did.
Maybe Tiffany didn't say something because her husband knows something that Lauren's been saying.
But she would have. I mean, you could have. First of all, it's girl code. You can at least be like, he's not with that bitch. I know what you're talking about. Like that would have been a bare minimum. Like you don't have to say like you know all the
Yes.
information, but like yeah. And Trey says Tiffany isn't a good friend towards Issa. She never gives her heads up. When she finds out stuff that she knows Issa would want to know, like that Consola hooked up first with Lawrence. And remember the birthday party? When it was Tiffany's birthday dinner. This was like season 2, I think. And like, Lawrence brought a date and she did not give Issa the heads up. Like, Tiffany is definitely like a frenemy, if you ask me. So her whole breakdown, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you guys. That was weird to me because I was like, I get the postpartum part, but like, you're not even really that good of a friend to any of them. So that's weird. But okay. As Murphy says, this season not getting what we're supposed to get. Apparently, not a lot of fans of this season, but we're watching it anyway because it's Sunday. What else do we have to do? But yeah. So Molly did stop. She ran interference. Issa and Nathan cleared the air, which wasn't a satisfying conversation. And I think that's like part of it for me. I like Nathan, but I also see where it's going. So I'm not like super invested either way. But I will say that at this point, I think it makes sense. It makes sense for me for Lawrence and Issa. Like, it's not like, oh, here we go. This came out of nowhere. Like, this is stupid. Like, they've built up to the point to where they're obviously going to have some communications again. So I'm not like super against it because I feel like at least where he's gotten with Condola is like a reasonable place. And obviously, like Issa, you're hung up on this dude. I don't like dragging another guy along with her. She's gonna break Nathan's already fragile heart again and prove him right as to why he didn't want to go in deep with her, more than likely. But I just think that's where we're going, so I'm not gonna be pre-mad about it. I'm just gonna go with it. Now the previews show Nathan and Issa kind of moving forward. What do you guys think? What is your prediction? We have 3 episodes left. It wasn't clear if the previews were just this next week or if it was for the last 3 weeks. But it seems like Nathan and Issa are going to move forward. But for me, I can't like get invested because I just know this isn't going to last. Like, what do you think, Ash? Is there a party that's like, I don't even want to see anything else with Nathan and Issa because we know it's not going to end up going that way? Or are you like, maybe they'll surprise us and Nathan and Issa will end up together? Like, what's your take on it?
I'm telling you, I'm writing in to HBO. I'm sending a Karen letter to Issa. Like, I am going hard if she puts Issa and Lawrence back together. I mean, yeah, I know she gonna fuck up everything with Nathan. I feel like they gonna be in the house, her phone going in Lawrence's picture or name's gonna pop up on the phone, and that's gonna cause issues. Or they're gonna be at the house and Lawrence is gonna pop up because he want to come to her, she's acting this. It's gonna be something. I can understand having that feeling of unresolved, whatever. But when you saw them in the hospital, like that should have given you the closure you needed. All this extra mess she doing, like, girl, he got a whole ass family. He has a whole family. Like, get over it. So I just something's gonna happen for him.
Baby, he don't have.
Yeah, I was like, he got a half a family, a whole family. He got a whole baby, a half a family.
To her, like she don't know really, but to her, when she saw it, they look like a happy-go-lucky family.
Yeah. Before you comment, season, let's see. Trey says Tiffany isn't a good friend. Oh, I already said that. Sorry. Let me go back. I missed some comments. S. Murphy, okay, so that's right. S. Murphy says Tiffany reads me as keep secrets to use against you. Yeah. Trey says Tiffany is a low-key mean girl. I can't fool with her. Karina says I agree. She could have saved Issa some heartache by giving her heads up. She lost her man and a potential good friend prior to them both learning their connection with Lawrence. Hey, Paul. Let's see. Karina says Nathan and Issa do not feel secure. No pun intended. Trey says you're real on that point. MD Terp. Nathan and Issa got together more by convenience than anything. As Murphy says, let Lawrence go. Convenience. I don't know if it's convenience. it's maybe familiarity. That's what I'm thinking. Because of their history. Season, your thoughts in terms of, I mean, we saw what the previews showed. Do you think we're just heading towards an inevitable, like, are you going to enjoy the ride with Issa and Nathan, knowing that we're probably heading towards Issa and Lawrence, or you're going to hold out for some hope for
Man,
like,
I gotta hold out hope
okay,
because
you're in the hold out hope category.
I do not want to rip my fucking TV off of my wall if she tears it up. Like, because clearly she's gonna continue to hang out with Nathan. It looks like things are gonna get better at work, and I can't look at the comments. So I think things are about to get really, really good for her. And then they might throw in Nathan, Lawrence is like a monkey wrench, but she gonna, deflect that or whatever. That's my hope. That, things just continue to go up and up and up, and Lawrence don't come in and mess it up. So
yeah, I mean, I think the one thing that's missing for me is like there are shows where it's like there's that great love that a person has, that like a Mr. Big, or various shows, they have that long lost love, or the one that got away. And I don't think that they've really given us enough of Lawrence and Issa having that great love for us to still now be at the end of season 5 and he's like still lingering over her head, like even though she's dated other guys and now she's in love, right, with Nathan. But I just feel like that's where we're going, so I'm not gonna resist it too much. But I just hope, the one thing I will say, and I told my friend this, my guy friend who watches this, and I don't know if I said this on the recap last week, what I will be pissed about is if we go through all this just for Issa and Lawrence to end back up together at the end, whereas I would have rather have used this season to actually and like look at what Issa being a stepmom would have been like, or navigating, Condoleezza's pregnancy and navigating him being a new dad, and that balance. Like, if you're going to end up together anyway, then I feel like they should have spent the season trying to show us what that looks like. Okay, Issa and Lawrence are going to be forever. This is what their life is going to look like, as opposed to like, doing this zigzag thing with Nathan and dragging him into it where it's unnecessary. So we'll see what happens. AR, okay, you're coming in at the last moment. You completely missed the conversation, so not even going to acknowledge that. Karina says you can't hold a man down when he's at his worst. You won't end up together. He will leave you or push you away. Shit, girl.
Do you want a testimony?
Testify. Test the motherfucking.
I'm not sure who that applies. Maybe this. To me, does that apply to Issa and Lawrence when she held his little raggedy staying on the couch all day ass down? Or is that referring to Issa and Nathan? Because Nathan, I don't think she really holding him down. I think she held down Lawrence.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who that applies to on the show. I'm in real life, that's actually true, but on the show, I don't know. Trace, Karina says, I think Nathan and Issa love each other, but it doesn't feel like they're in love. There's a difference. And I don't know if the disconnect is the acting, or if the disconnect is that's intentional. You know what I'm saying? Like, are they trying to convince us that they're really in love? Because that was not convincing at all. Or are they trying to convince us and they're just doing a bad job of being convincing? Like, I don't know if they're trying to give us doubt, or if they're trying to convince us and doing a bad job. I really don't. What do you guys think?
I mean, what y'all tell me every week, it's awkward. That's her thing. I think they are.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
There's no passion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not. I mean, there was a little bit there where they were like, I don't know, like it just, there's something that's clicking, like it's not clicking, the chemistry is not there. In the same way, like, I mean, she fucked this guy on the Ferris wheel on the second day. I mean, and that was kind of hot. Like I believe their chemistry before he became Ghost Babe, but now I'm not seeing that chemistry the way that it used to be there. And I don't know if it's just me that's not seeing it. Okay, Karina says their chemistry is way different from season 3. Yeah, like, is that intentional though? Like, is it intentional? Are they trying to show us that they're in a different space, or is it just like
I think it's on Issa's behalf. Like
Okay.
Nathan said, she inconsistent. So
Okay.
how is he
Yeah.
gonna be whining and dining her and Pepe Le Pew kissing her up her arm and shit? She inconsistent. Like, get it together.
But he really hasn't been doing that at all, though. Like, even I don't know. It just seemed like they're better as friends, to
But
be
Yeah,
in the
honest.
they're giving me homie vibes for sure.
previews, he's like, I like waking up
Yeah,
to you. I like making you coffee. Like he
Yeah, he did. He
that's
said
cute.
that. But it didn't give me butterflies. You guys know I'm the romantic of the group. I love couples on the shows. I like switch alliances depending. I'm like, oh, well, look, she's really happy with this guy. Yeah, I'm with this
Yeah.
guy. Like, I'm pro the woman being happy with whichever man she's with. I don't care who gets trampled along the process, but I'm just not feeling the zhuzh, it's not
It's not like Charlie and Davis. It's not giving me Charlie and Davis.
well, who was it? I felt like when she got with Nathan, like they had the sex scenes and it was like woo, pheromones. Like I feel like there's somebody that I feel like there's somebody that she's had, like maybe it was Lawrence. It actually might have been Lawrence. Remember when her and Lawrence got back together and they had the montage of them? They were like fucking all the time and they was like kikiing and having little popcorn and movie nights and shit and going out. Like that was convincing to me. Like I haven't seen that level of like this is it for Issa. This is her forever with Nathan. And I feel like they've had that in like season 3, but I haven't seen it yet with them back together. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if that's intentional or not. But anyway, AR says, I think the writers are purposely trying to convey that he's a downgrade from Lawrence. They're trying to show that she would be settling for him. I do think that she doesn't have the feelings for him because on his own merit, I think she has a feeling for him because she feels like Lawrence is off the table. That's what I think. Like he's moved on. He has, the whole he has the, baby mama, baby, that kind of stuff, that's how I feel, Oh, the 33 says, are you talking about Daniel? I know she had some hot sex with Daniel, but they weren't like a couple, right? I mean, they were kind of a couple a little bit. I don't know. She's had some moments. She definitely has had some moments. Okay, Karina says, yes, it was Lawrence and Issa who were in love with each other. Okay. So that their chemistry. Now, I still don't feel like that gave us Carrie and Big Sex in the City, like the grand love of them all. But they have more chemistry than Issa has with Nathan right now. So we'll see. Maybe the next episode, that moment will be have more punch to it with Nathan. Like, oh, I want to wake up to you in coffee or blah, blah, blah. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm just not buying it yet. So that's why I'm not super.
I'm already disappointed.
I know. That's why I'm like, to me, this episode was like, be prepared. It's not going to be Nathan. That's how I feel. And Issa's going to be an asshole and fuck over Nathan, but just be prepared for it.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
But you guys can hold on.
My pregnant ass can't even drink. Because we would have to play a shot game for the finale or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
every time Issa looks stupid, take a shot.
Okay. Well, anyways, that's all I really got, y'all. So we'll have to see what happens next week. 3 more episodes. It's gonna be Issa and Nathan. It's gonna be Nathan or Lawrence. Maybe we'll see Tori and Pablo. I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Hopefully, we
away
can
party.
Care about something new.
Yeah. But at least it's funny. At least it's funny. So, anyways, my plug. Don't watch these two on the side of me, okay? Ignore them. Ignore them. Matter of fact, I'm going to highlight myself.
No, that's not fair.
No, I can't.
No.
Why not?
Because our opinions matter equally on this panel.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to say this. These two have not watched the entire season of Harlem. I have. So take my opinion into more account.
Oh,
I absolutely loved Harlem on Amazon Prime. It's a must watch. I absolutely loved it. I loved Run the World on Stars. And I will be honest, I was like, this is like a bootleg knockoff of Run the World. But I love to support Black shows, especially with these Black women. So I was like, oh, check it out. I don't know if I'm going to like it because I really, really loved Run the World. But I'm telling you, me and my husband watching it, and we were cracking up the fuck laughing. It was so good. I'm not going to, no spoilers. I'm not going to say any spoilers. But it was so, so, so funny to me. And the one thing that I really, really like, I think the biggest difference between Run the World and Harlem is that it wasn't like super there wasn't like message, like, you know, like, and I think Run the World did it well, and it wasn't super like, remember Queen Sugar, the COVID episode where it was like the checklist of like the woke checklist, and it was like they had to go through all the everythings, you know. I feel like there's shit that comes up, but it comes up in a way that just feels organic and not like, oh, this is the episode, this is like the Black Lives Matter episode. They don't have a Black Lives Matter episode. I'm just using that as an example. You know, like, it really is just organic and it's authentic, and I loved it. Also, nobody's married on Harlem. Run the World, you know, there was marriage on Run the World. So yeah. Remember Bree, what's her name? Brescia Webb's character was married. So that's a great show. It's not a knockoff of Run the World. I think it's its own show. Yes, it's 4 Black girls. Yes, it's Harlem. But I think that the characters are totally different. And it's really, really, really funny. It's 10 episodes. I finished it all today. I was gonna like space it out, but I was like, you know, people are gonna fucking spoil it and I'm gonna be pissed off. So let me just go on ahead and watch it. And it got better. It got better. So
around what episode?
I thought each episode was better than the next. Like episode 1, I was like, oh, this is cute, this is funny. And I laughed a lot on episode 1. But by episode 2, I felt like they really like got out of like, I'm introducing the characters. And so like once you get out of the introducing the characters and the different types, I feel like you can really get funny. The episodes are like 35 minutes long. And I have to say, like, they pack a lot into 35 minutes. It doesn't feel rushed. It feels like super, like, I'm like, wow, this is still this one episode. But I just love all the characters.
Yes, I've seen Love Life. I like that show. It was really good.
I've heard a lot of good things about Love Life. I haven't watched it, but because it's not like an all Black show, right? It's like,
well, the season follows different couples. So the first season is about Anna Kendrick, and then the second season is about, I don't know his name, but it's the Black guy off of The Good Place.
Okay.
And the Jessica, what was her name? It was Jessica and Phoebe. They were like a comedic queens or something.
Oh, okay, 2 dumb queens, yeah.
Yes, so it's Jessica. She's in it. It's really good.
So it's a really Black man and it's a Black woman.
It's about it's about a Black man's love life.
And he's with Black girls.
He ends up with a Black girl. Yes.
Okay, I might check that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And 33 says, totally different. The flashback episode was good. Normally flashback episodes suck. I love the flashback episode. This is on Harlem. So check it out. That's all I'm gonna say. I told you guys long enough. Ashley says she might, I don't know if she ends up watching it all, but maybe we might end up doing like a one-time live recap reaction to the whole season. So I'll see what Ashley's schedule looks like if she does get through it.
I'm gonna try to finish it.
But only if she likes it.
I would have to imagine that these girls are like 25. If I can do that, then I
imagine they 25. Megan
I
can
imagine
like she
that
could be 25.
Who?
I don't know, but I actually really think that they are like, you know, I think that 30s is the right age for them. Like they're all. I don't think that they're immature at all. I think that it's good.
I don't think they're immature. I think they're naive, like green.
Okay,
you have to watch it. I think you have to watch it. I think that there's optimism there. What I will say is, I like that there's an optimism in these characters that you don't normally get in Black women. You normally get a sense of like jadedness and like, you know, kind of resigned to this is my fate and like a woe is me kind of thing. And I love that there's always this sense of like, I'm going to turn this around, or like, this is going to be great for me or whatever. Like there's always that sense of hope. And I really like that. That's very unique in a Black woman show.
All right, I'll finish it. Okay.
Okay.
They 25 to me. I'm sorry.
Okay, well,
I'm
that's what you. That makes you feel better. That makes you feel better. But at least the men are very good looking. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's
Oof.
good then.
yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
And Ty, I feel like Ty gets a bad rap from the first episode, but I feel like Ty actually is one of my favorite characters. She reminds me a lot of me. Like when she, like her reaction is like, "What the fuck?" Like she just says shit in a way that I'm like, that would totally be me having that exact reaction in that circumstance. You know, now she's lesbian. I'm obviously not, but I will say like her personality, I think she's the character that I'm like, I feel like we have the most in common in terms of our personality.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But anyways, all right, y'all. Okay, y'all come back next week, chill. Next week, we're going to see what's going on with Dathan. And we're going to waste our time, 2021.
Yeah, waste our time, 2020. Come on, Insecure. Let's just do it.
Let's just get this
Three
over
more
with.
episodes. 3 more episodes.
3 more. So we'll see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.